a fourth year medical student at the Faculty of Medicine in Colombo. And so I did my levels in 2020, 5 years ago. And I was able to get the results of Island sixth, and I was the district fourth from Colombo district, right? So I've been teaching physics since before my A-level results came out till now, right? So that's about me, and I'll take around 10 minutes to explain what we do in the class, the plan for the term, and uh, about the syllabus and the structure of the A-level paper before going into the basic math section, right? So, like during my, I have made the class in a way that it supports both who are like excellent workers and also who might find physics difficult, right? So most of the time what happens with students are they start well, but in the middle phase they kind of fall back. Some students fall back, some keep going, and those who fall back at the middle find it difficult at the end. So that is not just the students' fault, but sometimes it's kind of like the teacher's fault as well, because most of them like go through the first or the middle lessons very slowly and rush through the end lessons, which is too much for most of the students. So and they do less questions with at those last lessons as well. So this class is structured in a way so as to cover the syllabus early without like cramming everything at the end, and also so that you can do lots of questions while covering the syllabus early, right? So both best of both worlds, right? Doing the syllabus early as well as doing a lot of questions with exams as well, right? So you can read the mission and the mission. Okay. So in the class, the syllabus will be covered around 5 months before the exam. So no other class that I know does that, and I'm pretty confident in this, like the ability to do this with questions, right? I won't be like going like a train through the syllabus. I'll be going very slowly, answering your questions and making sure that each and every student understands all the concepts, right? And it's not memorizing each and every fact. I will teach you in such a way so that you will understand physics, right? Understand this physics, which is actually just the study of the stuff that we see in our day-to-day lives with through science, right? Through a practical lens. Then you all can get individual attention. This island's highest English medium results means that's my results, okay? So and unit wise, I will be doing exams. So after unit one, you will have a small exam with about 20 to 25 MCQs and maybe a structured question as well. Like that, there are 11 units which will go to next. So we'll be doing unit wise exams as well. And according to the marks that you will get kind of help on which areas you need to improve. And the recordings, you will have access to them till the end of your A-level examination. So, like at the middle of your A-level journey, if you want to revise, you can go back to the recordings and like watch it with a higher speed. Right? It's like a revision there. And you can ask any doubts that you have even through WhatsApp or through the chat. Then, so regarding how the past paper discussions and other paper classes are done, so I hope to start the past paper discussions after Unit 2 mechanics is done because that's the biggest lesson that we do, and kind of like the main lesson as well. Most of like around 50% of the questions will have a bit of mechanics in it. Right? That's the second unit, and the main paper class will be started around 1 year before A levels, right? So if your levels are in like October or August, it will be started in next year close to October, right? Because like in paper class, uh, a long time before is not important because we do a lot of questions and unit-wise examinations as well in the class. So like even without a proper paper class, there'll be a lot of papers done. And also term tests will be done kind of mirroring the school term test. So close to a term test will be done here, like in the class as well. So five term tests will be done, like there are six now. So the sixth term test will be done closer to A levels, kind of as a final examination. Okay? So that's kind of like the overview of the class and what you get in the class. Then, if we go into the A level syllabus in physics, there are 11 units, right? So we are starting from measurements. But for those 11 units, you need a bit of basic maths, right? You know, you've done this basic maths in all levels about a bit of graphs, a bit of quadratic equations, a bit of trigonometry, and some and logarithms. In not only in physics, you need logarithms for chemistry as well. So just revising that initially will be done, and that like the basic only the basic math won't be done. We will be doing the unit one as well today. So like those two will be going parallelly during this for around 3 days. I think we'll be able to finish the basic maths and then move on entirely onto the unit one. But till then we will be going parallelly about 1 hour of basic maths and the other 2 hours of uh, unit one. Right. So you can see the number of periods allocated. Unit one is comparatively very small. But you can see mechanics, it's like 20% of the whole syllabus, right? A bit less than 20%, but you have a lot of questions from it. So these four lessons are the largest lessons in the syllabus, and like this takes a long time to cover. And you can see like how I have planned to cover the syllabus in the lesson plan, which I have uploaded in the group. So there's another theory class starting around next year, July. So about a year from now. That's kind of my plan to cover the syllabus early. So I have done so in my A levels I covered the syllabus about a year before. I mean that's a bit too much of time, right? Because like for me at the end I didn't have anything to do. I didn't go to classes or anything, so that was too much of freedom, right? So we'll be covering around 5 months before exams, which I think is the ideal time to cover the syllabus before the exam. Uh, so we'll be starting that class around July. So then your minds will have a lot of physics, and will have kind of in the middle of heat, no? So unit four. So when we start unit four, we will start this current electricity unit eight as well. And currently, I am doing that for the 2026 students as well. So we have started current electricity and done 2 days of it. So I have done like that for other students as well. So I know that it works, right? And don't think that because these lessons are at the end, it might be hard or anything to do them early. Nothing like that, right? But that's for next year. So don't think about that. Now we will be doing unit one, right? So there's a lot of lessons, and like unit one is kind of like the bit of it's the least amount of physics kind of stuff is there, right? It's about measurements and stuff, right? So uh, it's not boring. I'll try to make it as interesting as possible, but compared to other lessons, it's a bit boring, right? Okay. So when you go into the structure of the A-level paper, there are two papers, just like in every subject, and paper one is 2 hours, having 50 MCQs, multiple choice questions. So each question will have five answers, and you will have to select one out of the five. And that paper will carry half the marks out of 100, so 50 marks. And when you go into the second paper, you will have the structured essay paper and the essay paper. So structured essay paper is given from practicals, right? So there are about 42 practicals for the entire physics syllabus. We will discuss in them at each and every point in the lesson, right? Not I won't be cramming them down at the end. So the structured essay paper has 4 questions, 15 minutes for one question, so 1 hour in total, and 4 practicals will be asked. So the first one will be from mechanics most of the time. So those questions are divided based on the lessons, right? So first question either unit 1, 2, or unit 10. And the second one it's from waves, this oscillations and waves part. Sorry, second one is from thermal physics, right? Heat. And the third question is from oscillations and waves, right? Fourth one is from either current, electricity, electronics, and sometimes magnetic fields, like that. So that's how it's divided. So you don't need to know this. I'm just telling you so that it's it'll you'll get a bit of an idea, right? So how the paper is made. Then the essay question, there are 30 marks allocated. So the rest of the marks is 30, and you have to do 4 questions out of it, right? There are 8 questions, so this is the out of the 8 you only have to select 4. But structured essay there are only 4 and you have to do all 4. But essay there are 8, you have to do only 4. So each question will be like 7.5, no? So totally 30 marks, and you get 2 hours for that. So for one question, 30 marks, 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes into times for this 2 hours. So uh, I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes if you want to ask any question. So there's a question: is mechanics hard? No, mechanics is not hard, but mechanics has a lot of concepts in it. So there are around 10 concepts or 10 to 12 concepts in mechanics, which we need to learn. And we will be going through the concepts, and then we will be doing a lot of questions which will cover almost all the ways that those questions could be asked in the examination, right? So and I'm doing kind of like a revision lesson for the 2025 students these days. And so with those, I mean, I have those questions as well, which will help you to do kind of understand all the concepts in mechanics. Uh, so you won't have a problem in that. No? All right. If there's any more questions, just ask. I'll give you 1 minute for that. There's no hardest unit in physics, right? There's no hardest unit in physics. All units are equally easy. If you do this, understand the concepts and do the questions. That's the simplest way. You can't study physics. Physics is not something you can study. You need to understand it. Ask as many questions as you can until you understand it, and then do as many questions as you can, and again do those same questions. So it's not about doing different questions all the time. It's about practicing the same thing again and again until it becomes like brushing teeth. You don't think and brush teeth, no? අපි දත් මදිද්දී we do it uh, unintentionally, right? We automatically do it. So physics is also something like that. You do it to the point where it's automatic. The sum gets made in your head, will get made in your head, like without doing it on the paper at a certain point if you practice it well during this A-level journey, right? Okay. So we will go into a bit of basic mathematics first, right? We will do about a few sums from this, and I'll give you another few sums for homework. Then we will go into a bit of trigonometry. That will be more interesting than solving quadratics, no? Uh, yeah. Then we'll go into units and dimensions, right? So within these 4 days, I hope to cover the basic maths part and also units and dimensions, and maybe on around the fourth day, I'll be starting measuring instruments, right? So that's the bulk of unit one, measuring instruments. Okay. So shall we do a sum first? So that's why I asked you to bring a CR book as well, have a CR book as well. Uh, Try the first question, this one. First question of the left column. This. And you all can send the answers in the chat. I want this to be interactive because, like, uh, since this class will be going on for 2.5 years, you can't join and be like ghosts, no? So send your answers, even if it's wrong, it's all right. And no one can see, you can send it to me directly, it's fine. I won't tell your name and tell the answer to everyone. So you have to solve x, find out x and y. The first one is very easy. So you need these concepts because, like, when they ask us questions, we might we might end up with certain equations. We might end up with two equations and we will have to solve for them. That is why we practice this first, so you know from your O-level syllabus which of the concepts that you need the most in physics. So nice, everyone who has sent has got the correct answer, right? So then we can move a bit fast through these ones. So the more you guys work, the faster I can go. So I will be going slow because I want everyone to understand. But if you all work enthusiastically, then I can go a bit faster, right? I won't be going like a train, but at a steady pace we can go. So what can we do? Here you can see equation 1 and equation 2. Here you can see this is plus y and this is minus y. So what if we add the two equations together? 5x plus y plus x minus y should be equal to 10 plus 2, no? So plus y and minus y gets cut. Plus y minus y. 5x and x gets added. 6x equals 12. So 6 and 12 gets cut. It's 2. X is equal to plus 2. What is y? Take this one. No? Take this one. Looks easy, no? It looks simple. X minus y is 2. Then x is 2 minus y is equal to 2. So then what is here? 2 minus 2, no? You bring 2 to the other side. 2 minus 2. Minus y equals 2 minus 2. Minus y equals 0. So then, what is y? divide this by minus 1, no? Divide both sides by minus 1. So minus minus becomes plus. 0 divided by minus 1. Is it minus 0? 0 divided by minus 1 is 0. Whatever number you divide 0 by, it's still 0. Yeah, it's still 0, right? You can divide 0 by minus 100 or plus 100 or plus 1000 or a million or minus million. It's 0. So I just wrote this to show you that, right? You don't need to write that when you solve. So minus y equals 0, y equals 0. No? You can multiply by 0 by the minus number. 0 multiplied by minus 1 is also 0, right? Whether you multiply or divide 0 by something, 0 is 0. 0 doesn't have a sign. Okay, you can do the second part. So send your answers in the chat like before for every question. I won't ask you again and again, right? Yeah, so you will get fractions for these questions. And those who have said the answers have sent them correct. So you have to get used to the fact that you will get fractions as well. Most of the time, you'll get whole numbers as answers in questions. but there will be times where you get fractions. Okay, so we will check the answer, no? So I think everyone has sent the correct answer. 3x minus 4y equals minus 7. 2x plus y equals 11, right? So we can't directly add them. Even if we add them, here you get 5x, and here minus 4 plus 5, it's minus 3. So you can't solve again. No? Again, you have another equation. So what do? You have to find, like, multiply an equation so that it gets a, so that when you add them, it cancels off. No? So if you multiply with the second one by 4, you get 4y. So 2x into 4 is 8x plus 4y equals 11 into 4. Right? All three variables will be multiplied by 4 equals 44. Now this is the third equation. So you can add the third equation to the first equation. 3x minus 4y plus 8x plus 4y equals 44 minus 7. Or minus 7 plus 44. Same thing. So 37 equals 4y and plus 4y. Minus 4y and plus 4y gets cut. So 8 plus 3 is 11x. X equals 37 over 11. Right? X is 37 over 11. You can substitute x in equation 2. Substitute it to the simplest equation. Then it's easy to get the answer. So 2 into x, right? Sub x equals 37 over 11 in 2. So 2 into 37 over 11 plus y equals 11. Y is equal to 11 minus 2 into 37 is 74 over 11. Right? So 74 over 11 going to the other side, it becomes minus 74 over 11. So common denominator is now 11 into 11 into 11. 11 into 11 is 121. Right? If you can't take it with your mind, just multiply on the side. 1 into 1, 11. Again 1 into 1, 11. 121 over 11 minus 74. How much is that? 47. 47 over 11 is y. So you get fractions or decimals if you further simplify it. So 47 divided by 11 is 4.27, and 37 divided by 11 is 3 point something. 37 divided by 11 is 3.36. This is 4.28. Yes, next we will do, yes, let's do another sum, then move into a fraction. Third one. Everyone has said the correct answer. So you can keep it in fractions or decimal numbers. That's all. But for A levels, you have to keep it in decimal places to two decimal places, right? Not two, three. Three numbers after the point. තමයි උත්තරේ වань බය නෙවෙයි මම ගිදින්නේ නැහැ. Right, let's check. So those who have got the correct answer can move on to the 10th one. And for the others, I'll discuss the correct for the third one. So 2x plus 5 equals 3. 4x plus y equals 7. Or minus 2x. So here is, like you can see, this is 2 into 2 is 4, no? So let's multiply this by 2. Yeah. First equation, second equation. First one multiplied by 2, right? First one multiplied by 2. 1 into 2. We get minus 4x plus 10y equals 6. That is the third one now. Then we add 2 and 3. Why? We have plus 4x and minus 4x there. So 4x plus y minus 4x plus 10y should be equal to 7 plus 6. That's 13. These two get cut. Plus 4x minus 4x. So 11y is equal to 13. Y equals 13 over 11. Then we can substitute for x. In which equation would it be easiest? This one, no? කෙලින්ම y දාන්න පුළුවන්. Sub means substitute. Y equals 13 over 11 in 2. So A levels quadratic equation මෙහෙම කෙලින්ම දෙන්නේ හොඳයි quadratic equation. We will be deriving them and solving them. Solve කරද්දී ඒතර මෙහෙම ලියන්න ඕන. Sub y equals this much in this equation. හරි අර ඕල වල කරපු basic දේවල් ටික ඒ විදිහටම කරන්න. So 4x plus 13 over 11 equals 7. 4x is equal to 7 minus 13 over 11. So get the common denominator as 11. 7 into 11. You get 77 minus 13 over 11 equals 4x. I write it here. 4x equals 77 minus 13 is 64 over 11. So 4 and 64 you can cut. It becomes 16. Right? 16 into 4 is 64. So you are dividing 64 by 4. And it's 16. So x equals 16 over 11. Both are positive. Right? So do the 10th one. Others you can do for homework. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those 6 questions you can do for homework. 6. We'll do them next day at the start. Homework, we'll do the homework. Like I'll solve them very fast because you will have much time to do them. Yeah, so most of you have seen the correct answer. So since it's a fraction, you have to be calm and collected when you do this sum, right? Fractions are like they can confuse you and like make you make errors, right? Shall we see? So four, x plus 4, right? X over 4 plus y over 5 equals 3. X over 2 minus y over 3 equals 2. So now you have to find something common. Hmm? You can see y over 5, y over 3, it's difficult to equalize 5 and 3, no? Easiest would be to get x over 4 for this equation. Multiply this by half. Multiply 2 by half. You get x over 4 minus y over 6 multiplied by half, no? Get y over 6 equals 2 into half. Half of 2 is 1. Third equation. Now what do we do? We subtract the first one by the third one. Why? First one is larger. It's 3 minus 1. So first one you have to write first. X over 4 plus y over 5 minus. Now you need it's better to put a bracket because there's a minus inside this as well. Right? Minus x plus 4 minus y over 6. When you subtract two expressions, you need to be able to like when you subtract like more errors can be there because you can see here when you open the bracket x over 4 plus y over 5 minus x over 4, then this minus into minus becomes plus y over 6 equals 2. So if you just wrote minus x over 4 minus y over 6, then the answer would be wrong because this would have been minus there, but it should be plus. So x over 4 minus x over 4 is 0. Y plus y over 5 plus y over 6 equals 2. What is the common denominator? 5 into 6, 30. This into 6, this into 5. I'll write it here. 6y plus 5y over 30 equals 2. So 11y over 30 is equal to 2 cross multiply. 30 half at 3 10. 11 at 10. Y is equal to 2 times 30. 60 over 11. Then substitute it for some equation. මොකද්ද ලේසි? third එක ලේසි නේ 1 ඉතින්. Sub y equals 60 over 11 in 3. X over 4 minus y, that is 60 over 11, right? Divide by 6 equals 1. This is y divided by 6. So divide by 6 means multiplied by 1 over 6. No? So 60 over 11 into 1 over 6. So if you don't need to write this step, right? Divide by 6 කියලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ, but some of you all might get confused, like when 11 and 6 are both of the same place, right? So that's why I wrote it in 2 steps. So this and this can get cut. 6 and 60, it's 10 over 11. X over 4 equals, x over 4 minus 10 over 11 equals 1. X over 4, 1 plus 10 over 11. Multiply this by 11, this becomes 11. So I'm running out of space. I should start way higher. So x over 4 equals 11 plus 10 is 21 over 11. Then x equals 21 into 4. 21 into 4 is 84 over 11. X is 84 over 11, y is 60 over 11. So when you get the values, this is 7.636. You have to keep it to 3 decimal places, right? 1, 2, 3. Y is 60 divided by 11. 5.455, you can write. 5.455. Yes, I'll be sending the recording. But always try to join the live class, because like you all can't ask doubts, and also like it's kind of boring. No record looking at recordings. Paper එකට fraction තියන්න බෑ, right? You always have to convert the fraction to a decimal place in your A-level paper. You can't leave fractions as answers, then you don't get marks for the final answer. Okay. Then what will we do now? We'll do a question from this now before going into quadratic. Then after doing quadratic, I will never teach you about quadratics and simultaneous equations again. Right? You can revise on your own if you want. Do the 12th one. 12th question. I'll be giving you a break as well, a small 10-minute break at about 8:30ish, close to 8:30. තාම ඔයාලගේ ඔලු පුංචි නිසා දැම්ම එක දිගට කරන්න බෑ. Right? I mean, I can drag on for about 4-5 hours, but For you, step by step එකයි කරන්න. එක දිගට ඇරලා දැම්මට වැඩක් නෑ. ඔළුවට යන්නේ නැත්තම්. If you know anyone who's like who hasn't yet started going for classes, please share the link of the group. Right? Right. Let's see. The difference between two numbers is 7. So take the two numbers as x and y. You need to find the two numbers. They say you need to do like make up two expressions and then solve them. In O levels, you do this. මට වඩා හොඳට ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙනවා. I haven't done this in like except for teaching in the class, I haven't done this like for an exam. I haven't done it in like 8 years or so. You have to get two expressions. They are saying sum of two numbers is 20. No, some difference between, right? 12th one, sorry, 12th one. Difference between two numbers is 7. I take the two numbers as x and y, a and b, anything, p and q. Then they say sum of 3 times the smaller and twice the larger is 50. They are asking us to find the numbers, no? Take one as the smaller and one as the bigger. Yes. So let's check this, right? Because like all of you all have sent different answers. So I think it's better to just check this. Eh? So there are two numbers. Difference between two numbers. Let's take x and y as two numbers. So difference between them is 7. So x is the large number, right? And y is the smaller number. Right? One of you has have sent the correct answers. Okay. This is the first equation. Then they say sum of 3 times the smaller. Smaller one is y. So 3y plus twice the larger. So 2x plus 3y is 50. second equation, right? When we asked to find the number, so similar, no, to the ones we did before. So first one you can multiply by 3, then you get minus 3y, no? So 3x minus 3y equals 7 into 3, 21. Third equation. Then add the 2. 3 plus 2, 3x minus 3y plus 2x plus 3y equals 21 plus 50, which is 71. Y and 3y minus 3y gets cut. You get 5x, no? Yes, we get 5x equals 71, so x should be equal to 71 divided by 5 is 14.2. Now, if you can't do it by mind, do it in the long division method. 1, 5, 21. 21 into 5 is 4. 5 into 4, 20. Point, because we are getting a 0 now. 10 has 2 5s in it, so 14.2. Then substitute in the first one. X minus y is the easiest one, no? 14.2 minus y equals 7. So send y to this side, 7 comes to this side. So y becomes plus y, 7 becomes minus 7. 14.2 minus 7 is 7.2 equals to y. So y is equal to 7.2 and x is 14.2. Do the 11th one also. We'll just do one more because some of you have found it confusing. Let's do the 11th also. Don't be afraid to send answers just because we got it wrong once, okay? The more mistakes you make, the more that you will know where stuff can go wrong. So you will make fewer mistakes when it really matters, when you have made all the mistakes when you're doing practice questions. So the more mistakes you are doing, better. But you have to learn from. ඉගෙන ගන්න නැතුව ඔහේ mistakes කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ නේද? Mistake එක උනේ ඇයි කියලා හොයාගන්න and address that. Find out why you made the mistakes and make sure not to make that mistake again. That's what's called learning. Learning is not just studying and writing some answers. It's about correcting yourself, right? Like that's not just learning, that's like life in general is that. Yeah. So almost all of you have sent the correct answer. So that's good. Right? Right. So we'll check it now. Sum of two numbers is 20. So take two numbers again. Now we'll take A and B just for a difference. A plus B is 20. We don't know which is the larger number, but they say if 4 is subtracted from the larger. So take 1 as larger. Eh? Let's take A as larger. If 4 is subtracted from the larger, you can take the other number as the larger as well. No problem. They're just asking the two numbers. Eh? They haven't said A is this and B is this. So no problem. If 4 is subtracted from the larger, the result is twice the smaller. So twice the smaller B. So you can rearrange this as A minus 2B is equal to 4. Easy, no? This is 1, this is 2. Right? Then what's the best thing to do? You can take 1 minus 2 straight away. No? Or you can put 1 into 2 and add them. But I feel like 1 minus 2 is easy. A plus B minus A minus 2B. So you have to be careful when you subtract them. So 20 minus 4. is 16. A plus B minus A, right? Minus A, minus into minus is plus 2B. A and A gets cut. Then you get B plus 2B. 3B is equal to 16. B is 16 divided by 3, that is 16 divided by 3, 5 times 15. For 10, it's 3. Again, 3 into 3, 9. For 10, it's 3. So you get 5.333. And what's A? A plus 5.33 is equal to 20. Then A is equal to 20 minus 5.33. You get 14.67. Or if you can substitute the fraction and find it out as well. Same answer. You can do 13 and 14 for homework. Right? Yeah. So let's go for the quadratic equations. Right. So for quadratic equations, sometimes you can get the uh, solve for x by using like kind of using what you call without using the equation for quadratic equations, right? So the equation for a quadratic equation, the common equation can be written as ax squared, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then the root values for x, or the values for x can be solved using the equation minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. You have learned this in O levels and you have applied it also, right? So this is the integer with x in the second part, b. So here there are plus and minus both to show you can like first you one answer you will be getting by adding this part to minus b, and the other answer you will be getting by subtracting that part from b. So you get two answers for x, right? Write this equation, you can, yeah, better to write it in your notebook. because we are doing this basic math part mainly in the notebook, no? Right? So for this quadratic equation, you can solve it using this equation, right? You can write the topic as quadratic equations if you want, but this is it for quadratic equations. That's all you have to know. You just do 3 or 4 sums. Most of the questions in A levels won't require this, right? But yeah, like you can get it using this equation, but some of them, some of the quadratic equations, you can just tell what x will be by looking at it, right? So you can apply it if you remember it, but if not, like it won't be a problem for you. But we will do a few sums just to for the completeness of the theory, right? So you can do the first one after writing this down. You don't need to apply the equation if you can get the answer without applying it, okay? So you have to arrange this equation in the form of where the answer is 0, right? So here it's not 0, no? Here this is square, okay? You all might have not seen it in this way. This is x plus 7 squared, okay? That's what this symbol means, equals to 16. So I'll do trigonometry next day. So we have 4 parts for the 4 days. Then quadratic today, trigonometry next day, logarithms, then graph. Graph will be last because it's a very small part. Yeah, we'll start unit and dimensions, right? After doing another two or three, like another two sums also. Others also send the answer, so two people have sent. It's correct. Okay, so we'll check it. So it's x. It's a pretty small sum, right? You don't need to apply the equation. X plus 7 squared equals 16. So open the brackets. X plus 7 into x plus 7 equals 16. So x into x squared, right? X into 7, 7x. Again, x into 7, 7x. 7 into 7, 49 equals 16. So you get x squared plus 14x plus 49 minus 16 equals 0. Take 0 to the same side, minus 16, right? X squared plus 14x. 49 minus 16 is 33 plus equals 0. Now you need to find, now everything's plus, no? So there are two equations only, x plus something and again x plus something. Because if both were minus, then this value would be a plus value, but the other value would be negative. It could be positive, but not sure, right? So here, since everything is positive, this should also be a positive value. X plus something, x plus something. So 33 is, the only way 33 can be written is 33 into 11, no? 3 into 11. And you can see 14 also can be written as 3 plus 11. So it's x plus 3, x plus 11. Right? If you open the brackets for this, you can again get x square plus 3x plus 11x plus 33. So this is 14x, right? So either of these two has to be 0 for the overall answer to be 0, no? So either x plus 3 equals 0 or x plus 11 equals 0. So take 3 to the other side, x equals minus 3, or take 11 to the other side, x equals minus 11. So you have two values for x, either minus 3 or minus 11. This is without the equation. If you apply the equation, it's a lot of, it's not like, it's harder, no? So minus b minus 14 plus so minus again root 14, you have to go on and on. Apply the equation only when necessary. Do the second one. You might have to apply the equation to that. So do the second question. Second one. B is minus 25, no? God has sent various answers, so we'll have to see which one is the answer. Right. So for the first one also, there's a easier method, right? X plus 7 squared equals 16. No? So 16 is 4 squared. X plus 7 squared equals 4 squared. Take the root of both sides. So x plus 7 equals 4. X equals minus 3. But here you don't get two answers for it. That's the problem, right? You don't get x equals minus 11. It can be minus 11 as well, right? You don't get that answer here. And here also it's like that. You only get one answer. You can get two answers, right? 3x minus 5 squared is equal to 49. 49 is 7 squared. 3x minus 5 squared is 7 squared. Then take the root of both sides. Square root means square gets lost. Square is removed. 3x minus 5 equals 7. 3x equals 7 plus 5. That is 12 is equal to 3x. You can cut this and this. This becomes 4. Divide 12 by 3, no? 4. X equals plus 4. But you don't get the other answer. Right? The other answer is x is equal to minus 2/3. I think some of you all have got it. So third one, do for homework. Let's do the fifth one. For most of these questions, you won't need to apply the equation. Right? So you can get two answers for the first and second questions also if you do the quadratic method, right? By completing the square. But if you just take the square root, you only get one answer. The other answer should be minus 2/3, right? So you should do the most easiest but correct method in solving sums, right? You will see the easiest method by practice. Okay. So just getting x equals plus 4 is all right. And x equals minus 3 is also, that's fine. So fifth one is a bit easier. Okay? So you have to be aware of the signs when you complete the square, right? So there are many multiples, no? Okay, we will check it. Almost all of you have sent answers. So x squared minus 10x equals minus 24. So to solve a quadratic equation, you have to get everything to one side. X squared minus 10x minus 24 becomes plus 24 is equal to 0. Right? So it's 24. So you have to see the multiples of 24 now. So it can be 12 into 2 and it can be 6 into 4. It can be 8 into 3. Uh, yeah, those are the main ones. No? Yes. So now there's minus 10 and plus 20. So you know that either both should be minus for you to get plus 24 when you multiply it, or both should be plus, right? But this is minus. So for that to be minus, then both should definitely be minus. X minus something, x minus something. So where do you get the sum of two numbers as 10? So minus 12 minus 2, you get minus 14. Minus 8 minus 3, you get minus 11. Minus 4 minus 6, you get minus 10. So x minus 6, x minus 4. So when multiplied, you can see minus 6 into minus 4 is plus 24. So no problem. So x minus 6 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. Then x equals plus 6, or x equals plus 4. I think some of you have said minus. I said correct for that. It should be, both should be plus. Alright. For x, it should be plus. But in the equation, like x minus 6 is 0, right? Then x is a positive one. Do the seventh one. After the seventh one, we'll take a small break and go into units and dimensions. So 3, 4, 6, 8, 9 are for homework. So 5 questions here. These 5 are for homework, and do the seventh one. So this is 3y squared minus y. 3y squared minus y is 5. Not yes, it's 5. You can send the answers. You will have to apply the equation for this. Can't get it using whole numbers. So just apply the equation. Yes, you will get a square root of a number which will be a decimal number. ඒ වෙනකන් හැදුවොත් ඇති. ඒක ස්ක්වයර් රූට් කරන්න යන්න ඕනේ. තාම දැන් log එහෙම ගන්න හැටි මතක නැතිද තියෙන්නේ. log පොතක් තියෙනවා නම් එකකින් ගන්න. But we will solve it when we do log, right? අර equation එක apply කරලා root එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන ටික solve කරගත්තා නම් ඇති. You can just send what is inside the root. මෙහෙම එනවනේ දැන්. We applied like this, no? The equation is minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So 2a and b you can anyways put inside. So b squared minus 4ac solve කරා නම් ඇති. And send that value which is inside the root. You get a root something for this thing. It will be not divisible, or you can't take the root of it without getting a decimal value. Your answer, like some of your answers might be wrong, but that's okay if you have substituted correctly. Like check when I do it. Uh, that's all right for getting the answer wrong because it's a complicated calculation. Okay. I'll just do the sum now. So what's important here is knowing uh, how to apply these signs of the equation to this equation, right? Signs of the quadratic equation into this, you have to be aware of their signs. So minus b. Now b is this now. What is here? 1. It's not just 1, it's minus 1. B is equal to minus 1. A is equal to 3 plus 3. And what will be C? 5 comes in the other side. It will become minus 5. No? C is minus 5. And so you have to be aware of those things. Then you can apply minus into minus 1 plus or minus b squared. That's minus 1 squared, right? Minus 1 squared is 1. Whatever the minus value squared is, 1. So lots of you all have gotten 61, so that's all right. Minus 4ac. 4 into minus 4 into a is 3, c is minus 5, no? Over 2 into 3. Then we get 1 plus or minus. Minus minus becomes plus. Root of, here it becomes 1. This one minus into minus, no? Minus 4 into 3 is minus 12. Into minus 5 is 60 plus 60. 1 plus 60 over 6. So you get 1 plus or minus root 61 over 6. So what's root 61? Root of 61. 7.81. I'll teach you how to take, I think you know how to take roots now using logbooks, but I'll teach you again uh, on the third day. 1 plus or minus 7.81 over 6. So one of them will be 1 plus 7.81 over 6 and the other one will be uh, O 1 minus 7.81 over 6. So the answers that you get are 1 plus 7.1 is 8.81 divided by 6. This is 1.47 or this will be a minus value because it's 1 minus 7.81 is minus 6.81 over 6. 6.81 divided by 6 is 1.135, that is minus. Right, so one value is positive and one value is negative. So you can't do this without applying the equation. Okay, now so do 3, 4, 6, 8, 9 for homework. I hope you learned how we should apply the sign. So the part that you have to learn using this question is how we apply the signs of ABC here into the equation, right? Not the root part. That's the easy part. This part is what's hard. This is the hard part, applying the signs. I'll just send the tube to the group because some of you all haven't seen it. I forwarded it again to the group. Okay, we'll take a 10-minute break. We have done the class for 2 hours now. We'll start at 8:40, and we'll start with units and dimensions. All right. Okay, so we can start. Okay. So units and dimensions. So I have written down the parts which you don't need to write, right? But other parts that we need to write, uh, there will be space left, right? If there is no space left, that means you don't need to write it. So here you can see I have left some space for those parts, right? So when you go into units and dimensions, so there are units and dimensions. So you know units, the unit part you know, but you don't know what dimensions are. Right? That's all right. We'll go into dimensions later, right? First we'll go into units. So what is a unit? What is a unit? You can send answers in the chat. What is a unit? If I ask you what a unit is, so a unit is used to describe a property, right? Yeah. So you can say that also. Okay. But here we are talking about units which are used to represent physical quantities, right? So from that we come into physical quantities, right? A physical quantity is a property which can be measured directly or indirectly. For example, you know mass, you know velocity or speed. Those are physical properties, right? You know time, which are measured in minutes, hours, seconds, days, years. All those are units which are used to describe that physical quantity which is called time. So when you tell the time, right? If someone asks you the time, so let's say Usain Bolt, take Usain Bolt, say he ran the 100-meter race in 10 seconds. Just roughly he ran it in 9 point something. No? So let's say he ran it in 10 seconds. So you are describing this time taken by Usain Bolt to run 100 meters. So when describing that, what do you have? You have a magnitude, which is the number, numerical value of the physical quantity, and the other part is the unit and value, or what we call the magnitude, right? So there should be a space between the unit and the magnitude always. It is not written continuously. There should be a space between the magnitude, the numerical value, and uh, the unit. So magnitudes obviously differ from quantity to quantity and also within the same quantity. And units also can be different within the same quantity. So, for example, if you take time, you can tell the time in seconds, hours, minutes, days, years, uh, let's say decades, centuries. Right? Those are all units used to describe time. If you take mass, what are the units? I'm just using a few basic physical quantities that you already know to help you get into the lesson. What are the units used to measure mass? Exactly. The two commonest units that you know are grams and kilograms. No? Grams and kilograms, right? Grams and kilograms. So it can be milligrams, that's it. Can be milligrams. Right? And there are also, අපි කියන්නේ ටොන් එකක් බරයි කියලා. ටොන් එකක් බරයි කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා. So tons. Can be metric tons. So tons also have a different, right? Ton එකක් කියන්නේ. ඒ වගේ, a ton. Okay. So there's a question asking whether we have to memorize everything. No, we just need to understand it. But there will be physical definitions. There will be definitions that you will have to properly know it by heart, right? But these are not necessary. Okay, you now just try to understand. If you need to memorize them, I will tell you. Then you can put a star and write down need to memorize. These you don't need to memorize. These are just basics, no? So they don't ask questions from these stuff. But to learn the big things, we need to learn these first. Right? Okay, so that's the relationship between a physical quantity and its unit. So physical quantity has a magnitude and unit, and there can be many different units for one physical quantity. So if you take speed also, speed can be written in different forms. Usually in the car, it's given in kilometers per hour. Yeah, units and dimensions, you get an MCQ, right? This lesson, this like the whole lesson, you get one MCQ. You might think, I just one MCQ, no, I can skip the lesson or something. But it's one of the easiest MCQs and it's 1 mark out of 100. So it's අර නිකන් ගන්න ලකුණක් වගේ එකක් මේ lesson එකකින් MCQ එක. හරි. නිකන් දෙන ලකුණක් ඒක. හිතන්න දෙයක් නැහැ නිකන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට it's about dimension. Right. Then so like when you consider time or distance, let's take distance. What are the units that you know which we use to measure distance? Rule එකකුත් ඇති නේද උත්තර? So there are many units. Yeah. You can use meters, kilometers, then what? Yeah, meters and kilometers. But if you think a bit outside the box also, what is the unit that is mainly used in like countries like America or European countries? Is it kilometers or something else? Yeah, it's miles, no? They say in miles per hour. එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ miles. Kilometers is a very vague concept for them. Right? එහෙනම් අපි තව බැලුවොත් if we go into the past, ඔය O level සිංහල කරලා තියෙන සමහරව ගොඩක් අය කරලා තියෙන. So what do they measure distances in? ගව් ගානක් ගියා, යොදුනක් ගියා. Right? එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ. And also there are small measurements as well. වියත කියනවා. නේ? The distance between the thumb and the index, thumb and the little finger, වියත කියලා කියනවා. And also yeah, those are the ones. නේ? තව මොනවද? Yards තියෙනවා. Yards is still used නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැති අර අම්මලා සාරි ගන්න ගියාම යාරක කීයද කියලා කියන්නේ. So there are many units in different countries in different ways for the same measurement. නේද? ඔය ඔක්කොම ඒවෙන් කියන්නේ distance වනේ. එතකොට දැන් අපි මං අක්කරේ කියලා නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ. yards. Yards, the number of yards. ඒක කියන්නේ like අක්කරේ කියන්නේ ඒකනේ. ඒක means like a purchase කරන වගේ 160 purchase is 1 acre. It's an area. Coming back to distance, so you can see there are many units for the same measurement, same physical quantity in different countries in different languages. එතකොට දැන් අපි ඇමරිකාවට ගිහිල්ලා මේ මං ගව් ගානක් මේ දුරින් ආවේ කිව්වොත් උට තේරෙයිද කොහෙන්ද ආවේ කියලා? මේ මොන like if you say I came hundreds of hours ago වගේ hours away කියලා කිව්වොත් උඹලා මොන පිස්සෙද්ද කියලා නේ? හරි. එතකොට so different physical quantities have different units for them in different countries in different languages makes it very confusing to use a common one. That you can't use a common one. එතකොට ඇමරිකාවේ කට්ටිය miles කියනවා අපේ යාට ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි kilometers වලින් කියනවා ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ ඒගොල්ලන්ට. හරි ඒක convert කර කර ඉන්න ඕන. හරි කරදරයි. So to avoid this confusion among different countries and even like when doing physics also internationally එකතු වෙලානේ ගොඩක් researchers එහෙම කරන්නේ. So you need to have a common system where the units have physical quantities have common units, right? So a system was formulated to produce common units for physical quantities, and that system was called the SI unit system or System International Units. Right? So in English, International System of Units. In French, it's System International Units. Right? So it is used universally, and here also we'll be using that. හරි අපි ගව් ගණන් වලින් නෙමෙයි අපි measurements ගන්නෙ. යොදුන් වලින් නෙමෙයි meters kilometers වගේ ඒ වගේ measurements වලින්. Right? So the reason is that හරි මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියව ගන්න. I won't be reading through the note. Yeah, you can read it. I would have said everything that's there in the note. I'll explain. So this SI unit system has 7 base quantities. It has 7 base quantities. 7 base quantities. That means 7 fundamental quantities which will be going into, right? Base quantities having base units. So base quantities has base units. And there are 22 derived units and 2 supplementary units, right? So 7 base quantities are used to get another 22 units and 2 supplementary units are there, which are in the SI unit system, but they are not classified as base quantities or derived units. So that makes up the whole SI system. පොඩි නේ ටිකක් හිතලා බලුවහම ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ 31. Right. So let's go into the basic quantities and units. Right. So a basic quantity is something that cannot be broken down further. මෙයා හැදුනේ මෙයාගේ, right? එහෙම කියන්න බෑ යා. It's basic, fundamental, right? It is the starting point. The derived quantities are made using these basic quantities. You can මේ කීප දෙනෙක් එකතු කරලා තමයි ඔන්න derived units හදන්නේ. Right? මෙහෙම එකතු කරලා. So මුලින් අපි බලමු what the base quantities are. So there are 7 base quantities and you know some of them. So length, mass, time, thermodynamic temperature, but it's like for the post word that electric current, the amount of substance, you know everything. And the 7th one you might not have heard, it's luminous intensity. This luminous intensity, you won't get it for sums, right? You won't get it for sums in the sense like you don't learn about luminous intensity in the syllabus. So they can ask the unit of luminous intensity. Right? So the base quantities are length, mass, time, thermodynamic temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. ඔය ටික කරලා කරලා මතක තියාගන්න. මම කියන්නේ කටපාඩම් කරගන්න කියලා බත්. Revise. දර නිකම්ම මතක හිටියි. Then we'll go into the units of those quantities. Right? We are going into the units of those quantities. For length, it is meter. For length, it is meter. So you have centimeters on your ruler, but the SI unit, right? The fundamental unit is meter. Symbol M. And for mass, it's kilogram. It's not gram. හරි දැන් වාට හිතෙනවනේ meter kilometer තියෙනවා හැබැයි meter හරි. Kilometer is something bigger, no? But like gram නැත්තේ. So මේක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ හදලා තියෙන විදිය. Right? Gram, the basic වැඩිපුරම measurements වෙන්නේ meter range එකකින්. Kilometers වලින් measurements කරනවා අඩුයිනේ. ගොඩාක් දුර වුණාම kilometers වලින්. But mass එකට ආවම most of the measurements are in that range of measurements. Kilogram level එකෙන් තමයි යන්නේ. කිලෝ 1යි 2යි 3යි එහෙමනේ යන්නේ. කිලෝස් 50 60. එතකොට if you take it in grams it's harder. So 1 kilogram is, you know that it's 1000 grams, ne? 1000 grams is 1 kilogram. 50 kilograms විතර ගත්තාම 50,000 grams. So it's a hassle. මේ කරදරයක්. So වැඩිපුර measurements වෙන්නේ in the uh, world using kilograms. Kilograms in the sense අර ඒ range එකේ. Kilogram range එකේ measurements තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඒක ඕන gram වලින් ලියන්න පුළුවන්, but kilograms වලින් ලියවම ලේසි. So that's why kilograms is taken as the SI unit, right? And the symbol is kg. For time it's second. Right? Time it's second. Basic එක තමයි time වලට ගන්න. It can be, you can further divide it as millisecond ඔහොම පල්ලෙහාට යන්න පුළුවන්. But second is the basic one. මොකද we don't express like minutes in අර kilo minutes එහෙම කියලා එකක් නැහැ. So second is the basic uh, unit for time. Then thermodynamic temperature, it's Kelvin, right? Capital K, it's not degree Celsius, it's Kelvin. දැන් ඇමරිකාවේ කට්ටියම Fahrenheit වලින් යන්නේ, right? If they say temperature is most in Fahrenheit. අපි කිව්වොත් it's Celsius නේ. But ඔය දෙකටම නැති වෙන්න තමයි ගණන් තියෙන්නේ Kelvin කියලා. Then electric current is in ampere. You have learned about current a bit in O levels. So ampere is the unit of current. And the amount of substance is given in moles, which is, the symbol is NMOL, right? ඔක chemistry වලටත් කරනවා ඉස්සරහදී moles හම්බෙනවා physics වලත් සමහර තැන් වල වැඩි හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ physics වල. Mainly in chemistry you will find moles. Then you have luminous intensity, which is measured in candela. Candela. Symbol CD. ඔක ගැන ඔච්චරයි දැනගන්න තියෙන්නේ luminous intensity. Okay, so those are the fundamental SI units and their symbols. The symbols are important and you don't have to buy heart them, right? ගණන් හදද්දී ඔක නිකම් ඔලුවට එන. Okay. So I want you all to read the tune for the part that we did after the class. So even before the class, it's all right. And also before the next class, right? Before the next class on next Sunday, before the class. Then you will always remember it. 아무තුයි පාඩම් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. පන්තියට පස්සේ එකපාරක් බලා ගන්න, පන්තියට කලින් එකපාරක් බලා ගන්න theory. සතියට දෙපාරක් පාඩම් කරනවා. වැඩි වෙලාවක් යන්නේ නැහැ නේ physics බලන්න bio වගේ. bio වගේ. chemistry වගේත් නැහැ. chemistry පොඩ්ඩක් තියෙනවනේ පාඩම්. Right. Then before going into the derived units, we go into two supplementary SI units. And those two supplementary SI units are used to measure the angle. Right? Angle. What is the unit which you unit කියන්නේ කොහොමද අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් angles ගන්නේ? What is the unit that is used to measure angles? O levels වල මොකක්ද ගත්ත unit එක? මේවා නෙමෙයි O levels ගත්තද? Yeah, degrees, ne? It's degrees. So degrees is not the unit that is used to properly measure an angle, right? It is not the proper unit for measuring angles. And there are two types of angles called a plane angle and a solid angle, right? Plane angle means it is for 2D objects. So example, circle, right? Example is circle. So I'll show you a plane angle and a solid angle. I don't have a picture here, so I'll just take one from the internet. Solid angle. So this is a plane angle and a solid angle. This one, right? So this one is a plane angle where it's just a circle, 2 dimension. Right? This is a solid angle. Solid angles are the angles subtended in spheres. හරි sphere එකේ කොටසක් අස්සේ තියෙන angle එක තමයි solid angle කියන්නේ. We don't have to measure solid angles and there are no calculations involving solid angles in our syllabus for physics. Right? Maths might be there, I don't know about that. But in physics we don't have it. Right? So that's a solid angle. Yes. Solid angles are for 3-dimensional shapes and plane angles are for 2-dimensional objects. So here you can see again how they shape. Right? That is 3-dimensional. Okay, so that's about plane angles and solid angles. So plane angles, the unit that is used to measure the plane angle is radian. Right? This unit is used throughout the syllabus. හැමතැනම පාවිච්චි වෙනවා. Symbol is rad, R-A-D. And for solid angles, it's steradian. Steradian. Right? And the symbol is SR. steradian නම් මම නම් ජීවිතේට ගානක් හදලා නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හදන්නෙත් නැහැ. Right? නිකන් අමුතුවෙන් හිතිලා දුන්නොත් තමයි solid angle එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කියලා වගේ අහලා A-level paper එක, but that is highly unlikely. Like 80s වලින් නම් ගත්තත් අහලා නැහැ. So එච්චර කාලයකට අහලා ඉන්න එකක් දැන් අහයි කියලා හිතන්න අමාරුයි. Right. So plane angle is measured in radius. Plane angle measured in radius. And 1 radian is defined as the plane angle, right? 1 radian then. We circle the candle like this. And 1 radian, if this is 1 radian, 1 rad. That is the angle. 1 radian is the angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc length. This is the arc length, which is equal to the radius of the circle. So this arc length is equal to radius. Then you can say that the angle subtended at the center is 1 radian. Right? So the angle theta in radians can be written as arc length over the radius. මෙතන s කියලා දාගන්න ළමයි r නෙමෙයි මෙතන s තියෙනවා. මොකද angle එක theta නේ 1 radian නෙමෙයිනේ. For 1 radian the arc length is r, because when arc length is r and r get cut, you get 1 as the answer. Right? So that's 1 radian. Right? Theta rad, angle in radian, is equal to arc length suspended by that angle divided by the radius of the circle. Right? And when you go to solid angle, it's defined as the solid angle. මෙතන sphere එකක් අඳින්න අමාරුයි. අර පෙන්නුව පින්තූරේ තමයි. හරි? ඒක අඳින්න ඕනත් නැහැ. නිකන් definition එක පොඩ්ඩක් තේරුම් ගත්තාම හරි. The solid angle, right? Solid angle is measured differently. We don't know how to measure that. තේරුණා? අපි ඒක ඉගෙන ගෙනත් නැහැ, මේක උගන්වන්නත් නැහැ කොහොමද measure කරන්නේ. මේ විදිහේ දෙයක් තමයි solid angle එක කියන්නේ. Right or no? So this solid angle, which is subtended at the center of a sphere by an area on its surface equal to the square of its radius. That is 1 steradian. 1 steradian equals to r squared over මෙතන r squared that තමයි 1 නේ. It's 1 steradian. So it's area divided by r squared. So when the area is equal to the radius squared, it's 1 steradian. Right? If you want, you can draw this for 1 steradian and change this to S. Also, make a equation මුකුත් තියාගන්න ඕනේ. We will be doing some questions from this. Right? So theta rad equals arc length over radius. I'll give you 1 minute to write down anything you need, and then we'll move into some questions with plane angle. Right. So let's go to a bit about plane angles. මේ මුල් ටිකේ විතරයි තමයි මෙච්චර උගන්වන්න තියෙන්නේ මට කතා කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. හරි පස්සේ චුට්ටක් උගන්වනවා ගණන් ගොඩක් හදන්න. Right. So theta rad is arc length over radius. මෙතන S over R. So when the arc length is equal to the circumference, right? What is S? When S is equal to circumference of the circle. What is S? ඔලෙල්ල කරනවානේ equation එක මොකක්ද? Circumference of a circle with radius R. Circumference එක කියන්නේ මේ මුළු දුරමනේ. The whole outer length of the circle. That is the circumference. When the arc length is equal to that, මේ මුළු එකම වුණාම theta rad or the angle, plane angle is maximum, no? ඊට වඩා වැඩි වෙන්න බෑ. That is maximum. What is the equation for the circumference? දැන් කවුරුත් level නැහැ. කියන්නේ මතක නැද්ද ඔයගොල්ලෝ? ඒවා අමතක කරන්න බෑ. Area of a circle, area of a cylinder, volume of a cylinder ඔක්කොම මතක තියෙනවා. Yes, 2 pi r. So S is equal to 2 pi r. So you can write theta rad is equal to 2 pi r divided by r. R and R get cut. You get 2 pi is equal to theta rad. Okay. So this is the maximum value in radians for the plane angle. Degrees වලින් ගත්තොත් කීයද මේ? Maximum angle එක මොකක්ද? Circle එකේ maximum angle එක මොකක්ද? At the center. ඒක නම් මතකයිනේ. 360. So this represents 360 degrees, right? But this is in radians. 2 pi rad, right? 2 pi rad. එහෙම ලියන්න ඕනේ unit එක. Right? You have to write the unit. So 2 pi radians represents 360 degrees. Okay. එතකොට angle එක 2π කිව්වොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනගන්න ඕන ඒක 360 කියන එක කියන්නේ. අපි 2π කියලා හිතුවාම කන්ෆියුස් වෙනවනේ. 2π කියන්නේ 360 degrees නේ. අපි ඒක degrees වලට හැම වෙලාවෙම අර relate කරගෙන තේරුම් ගන්න. right. 2π කියන්නේ 360 degrees. එහෙනම් π කියන්නේ කීයද? What is pi? Yes, that's 180. Then what is pi over 2? Yeah, it's 90, no? Then pi over 3 කියන්නේ කීයද? Yes, it's 45. 45 නෙමෙයි. හවුද 45? 45 නෙමෙයි. If pi is 180, pi over 3 should be 180 over 3. That is 60 degrees. නේ? තව මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් pi over 4. What is pi over 4? Yes, pi over 4 is 45. Pi over 6. Exactly. So now you've got the hang of it. නේ? Pi over 6 කියන්නේ 30 degrees. Right? And so on, you can calculate anything you want. Right? So better to write this down. නේ? මේක ඔයගලගේ CR පොතේ ලිව්වත් අහුලන්නේ. After writing this down, do exercise 2, question number 1, and question number 2. In question number 2, do the third one. Do the third one. We'll look into it one by one. Do the third. First and second question, third one. And send the answer in radians. Convert the following angles into radians. We already did 1 and 2. Do the third one. some of you have sent the answer. Yeah. So first one, define a radian. Is the angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc length which is equal to its radius. Okay? That is the radian. So for the third one, getting a lazy, right? Pi gives 180. Make it lazy for 1 pi is 180. Oh, here we need the other way now. 180 degrees represents 1 pi. So 1 degree should represent 1 degree is represented by pi over 180. So 150 should be represented by pi over 180 into 150 නේද? pi over 180 කියන්නේ 1 degree නේ. ඒ වගේ 150. So you can cut by 0 and 0. You can cut by 3. This is 5. 18 cut by 3 is 6. You get 5 over 6 pi. Do the fourth one. ඉක්මනට කරන්න තමයි. Lazy. Fourth one. 120 degrees. Okay. බලමුද ඒක? So similarly 1 degree is pi by 180. ඔක ගන්න පුළුවන් හැම එකටම මෙතන. 1 degree represents pi by 1. Doesn't depend on the other angle we need to find. So 120 is pi over 180 into 120. So here you can cut by 60. 60 over 2, 60 over 2, 9. You get 2 by 3 pi. Okay. Uh, let's do a big angle. 540. 10th one. Others you can do. Okay. එච්චර අමාරු නෑනේ. සරලයි නේ. All others you can do for homework, and for now we'll do the 10th. Nice. So all of you all have sent answers. We'll check. So here also you can do the same thing, no? So it's 540 decrease now. So 5 by 180 represents 1 degree. So how much does 540 degrees represent? Cut the two zeros. You get 54 is 18 into 3. 1, 3, 3 pi. So if you can't cut 54 by 18 at once, you can simplify part by part. Cut first by 2, 9 and 27. Then you can cut by 3, 3 and 9. Again, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so 3 pi. So improve step by step. You don't need to go to the finish line at once. You can do the others for homework. Mm, From third one also we'll do about one and two. Do the fourth one. Yes, so most of you have sent the correct answer. So you know that 2 pi is given by 360 degrees, right? So here it's 2 pi divided by 7. So 360 divided by 7. 360 divided by 7. This is 5, 35. For 10 degrees, it's 1, right? 7. For 3 degrees, you don't have any degrees, right? So 51 degrees. The rest will be in minutes. So 3 degrees are remaining. You know that 1 degree is 60 minutes. So 3 degrees is 60 into 3, 180 minutes. So you have to divide 180 minutes by 7. So you get how much? Here into 2, 14, 4, 0, 7. In 40 there are 5 sevens and 35 with 50. Ah, 50 ගන්න බෑනේ. Minutes can't be in points either. So 20, 51 degrees, 25 minutes and 5ක් ආයෙත් ඉතුරු වෙනවා. ඒ මොනවාද ඒ? Minutes 5ක් ඉතුරු වෙනවා. And the other unit is තව unit එකක් තියෙනවා මේකට. තව පල්ලෙහාට යන්න පුළුවන්. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. මේ seconds කියන්නේ තප්පර කියන එක නෙමෙයි. It's a measurement of it's a lower measurement of degree, right? So first, 1 degree is 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. ඕනනම් ඒකත් හදන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඔක තව තව යනවා. So you can just keep it like this. Right? 51 degrees, 25 minutes. But just know that you can do it further as seconds. So minutes are the lower measurement unit of degrees. So අපි කියන්නේ 1 meter is 100 centimeters කියලා. ඒ වගේ 1 degree is 60 seconds. Sorry, sorry. 1 degree is 60 minutes. Right? මේ අර hours and minutes එකයි මේකයි වෙනස්. හරි? We say it the same, but that minute and this minute are two different things, right? Then 1 minute is 60 seconds. So it's denoted, minutes are denoted by a dash and seconds are denoted by a double dash. You can say 51 point like a decimal point. But that's not how we write angles. We don't usually write angles with decimal places. Right? That's not the conventional way. It's not that it's wrong, but like we don't usually do it. Do the 12th one. Do the 12th one. They are asking 1/5, okay, not 5. Yeah, so you all are getting different. So pi is 180 degrees, right? We'll check it. 1 over pi means you can take the inverse of both. Or you can cross multiply with it, right? Then with 1 over pi is 1 over 180 degrees, right? 1 over 180 degrees. 1 divided by 180 is 1 over pi radian, right? In degrees. So it's 0 degrees. No? So you can't divide this by 180. You can't divide 1 degree by 180. No? If you take it in minutes, you get 180 divided by, oh, sorry, 60 minutes divided by 180. You get one third of a minute. One third of a minute. But you can get seconds also, no? So how many seconds are here? 1 minute is 60 seconds. You have how many? You have 60 into 60 seconds. So 60 minutes will be 60 into 60 seconds. That is 3600 seconds divided by 180. So here you have 280s and 0, 20. So answer is one third of a second. You can take it from here even. One third of a minute, which is 20 seconds. One third of a minute, right? One third of a minute. Minute is 60 seconds. So one third of 60 seconds. That is 20 seconds. I'll explain that again. So 1 over pi is 1 over 180 degrees. But if that's not a value, so 1 degree is divided by 180. You can't do that. So you take 1 degree in minutes. That is 60 minutes divided by 180. So that's one third, no? 60 divided by 180 is one third, but that's in minutes. This one third of a minute, right? One third of a minute. That is one third of minute is 60 seconds. 1 minute, 60 seconds. So one third into 60 seconds. That is one third of 60 is 20. So you can take it straight away as 20 seconds. Or either you can take it in the long way, getting 60 minutes in seconds. Make a divide කරන්න බෑනේ. So you take 60 minutes as seconds. 1 minute 60 seconds. 60 minutes 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds is 1 degree, no? May 1 degree matama. So we are just using it in seconds. 3600 seconds divided by 180. That's 20. So answer should be in seconds. Okay, did everyone understand, or is there anyone who didn't understand? No, it's not 0.33 degrees, no? 1 over 180 is something else. It's 0.00555 degrees. But don't keep it like that. This is a far better answer, no? 20, no? It's a divisible answer. If you keep it in degrees, it's 1 over 180. That's 0.0055555, and finally you get a 6 somewhere. No, it's all the way 5. Okay, do the fourth one for homework. Yeah, you can keep the answer in seconds. That's all right. But it's like this. Now we are doing this just to practice, no? Converting angles. You will rarely get something in seconds, right? But it's better to know. Okay. Don't take these questions to like, I don't think it's like very hard or something. Right? You see, some questions are there. Only one question is like that, 105. That is because you just need to know it. Right? Okay. You can do the fourth one for homework and also fifth one in the third one, not this five, not the fifth one. This fifth one, this sixth one, and eighth and seventh and ninth one as well. Right, for homework. Five questions, mark them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you can go to the next one. Yeah. So now we will have to go to unit conversions. Right. We are going into derived physical units and derived units. So I told you that these units are derived using basic SI units and basic physical quantities, right? So can you tell an example? It's in the note anyways. Uh, an example for a derived physical quantity? There's something that's not there in the note. Example for derived physical quantity. Yeah. So force, energy, you all might not know those quantities too. So uh, speed, those are all derived ones, right? They have more than one uh, unit for them, right? Meters per second. So they have meters and seconds both in there. So if you take volume, it's cubic meters, right? It has meter to the power cube, to the power 3, right? So simplest ones are area, which is meter square. So area is length into breadth, right? These definitions you already know. That's meter square. Volume, length into breadth into height for a cube. Cylinders, you can find out volume, but the definition might change. So cylinder is different, no? Then SI unit is cubic meter. The SI unit has to be from the basic SI units, right? So it can't be centimeter cube SI unit for volume. SI unit for volume should be meter cube, right? So these derived units, derived physical quantities have SI units, right? Units which can be obtained using basic units are called derived SI units, right? So they are also SI units, but derived ones, okay? And you have to write them in basic units. You can't write them in ones that are not basic units. So centimeters, you are given that. Then you have velocity. We will learn about velocity in depth in motion. So displacement over time taken, right? It's meters per second, not kilometers per hour. SI unit is for velocity or speed is meters per second. Kilometers per hour is not base units, no? Kilometers is not a base unit. Hour is not a base unit. Miles per hour, not a base unit. So not an SI unit. Okay. And ඒ වගේ තමයි එක ගන්න. So you have density, which is mass over volume. Acceleration තියෙනවා. Momentum, momentum කරලා තියෙනවද ඔබ? So momentum is also a physical quantity, which is equivalent to mass into velocity, right? You all have heard of momentum. So the unit is mass into units of velocity. So just a kind of like a hint for future theories that we'll be learning. You can see it's mass into velocity. So mass SI unit is kilogram. SI unit for velocity it's given here, meters per second. So for momentum, it's kilograms into meters per second. The unit for momentum, kilogram into meters per second. It's just like the quantities, right? When multiplied, the units get like attached to each other, right? When divided, it gets divided. Okay, so you can take for velocity, it's displacement over time taken. Displacement or distance measured in meters. Time taken measured in seconds. So s to the power 1, no? We don't show that one, no? Right? So when it goes up, it becomes s to the power minus 1 per second, right? Meters for 1 second. So it's easier to write both of them on the same line. Then we have to put minus for the ones that are coming up. If it's positive when it's down, when it comes up, it becomes minus. So it's meters per second, right? So density, which is mass over volume, mass is in kilograms, volume it's in cubic meters, meter cube. Then kg, m to the power plus 3 becomes m to the power minus 3. So there are certain rules you have to follow when writing these units as well. One of the basic rules are there should be a small space in between uh, units, right? There should be a space in between different units. So you can, these are just like helpful tips for some. Right? We will be doing them as well, but I'll be teaching them as you go along. You can write these as we do the lesson. right? අර හැමදේම perfect note එකක තියෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. You can just note them down on the side. පොඩි ඉඩක් තියෙනවනේ. Right. So there are some more physical quantities which have no units. Physical quantities without units. Yeah. I'll take an example and show you why they don't have units. So examples are relative density, relative humidity, relative permittivity. ඔගොල්ලෝ අහලවත් නැහැ. ඔගොල්ලෝ අහන්නේ ඒක තව අවුරුද්දකින් විතර. It's in electrostatics. Coefficient of friction ඒක නම් තියෙනවා mechanics වල. Refractive index you get it in optics. Efficiency you get it in mechanics work energy power වල. And strain you get it in lesson 9. කොච්චර කාලද යනවා. So close to next year end. හරි. එතකොට මේවා ගැන එච්චර ලොකුවට හිතන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මේක මොකක්ද කියන එක. ඔක්කොම එකපාර ඉගෙන ගන්න බෑනේ. අපි දන්න දෙයකින් පටන් ගමු. I'll take relative density. මේක පාඩම් කරගන්න යන්නත් එපා. හොඳේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ A level අන්තිම වෙද්දී relative permittivity කිව්වහම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ඒකට යුනිට් එකක් තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා. මොකද ගණන් කරද්දී ඒවා යූස් වෙනවනේ. ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. හරි මේක දැන් පාඩම් කරගන්න එපා මේ යුනිට්ස් ටික. මේවට යුනිට්ස් නෑ. මේ මත තියාගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. එහෙම යන්නේ හොඳ. Relative density. So relative density you might have learnt in O levels, no? So that's the density of a liquid, right? Density of a liquid divided by density of water. It's given relative to that of water. Hmm. What is density measured in? What's the unit of measurement of density? Can someone say? Yes, thank you. Everyone has sent. No, it's kilograms per cubic meter. So density of a liquid is kilograms per cubic meter. Values ඕනේ අපි නිකන් units වලට මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා මේ බලන්න. Density of water is also kilograms per cubic meter. So what happens to the units? They get cancelled out. Right? Multiply with the එකතු වෙනවා නම් divide with the they get cancelled out. When the same unit is there, kilogram get cut with kilogram and per cubic meter get cut with per cubic meter. So you don't have units for the final answer. Numerical value තියෙනවා. Right? You don't have a unit for the final answer. Okay? අන්න ඒ වගේ ඒවා තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම මේ හතම එහෙම. They don't have a unit. That is why they are called physical quantities without units. Right? No unit. They are usually taken as ratios. Right? They should be taken as ratios of the same physical quantity. දැන් මෙතන densities දෙකක් නේ. ඒ වගේ. So we will be going into deriving these units for different unknown quantities and ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා මෙතන. හරි. අර step by step පොඩ්ඩක් basics ටික දාගෙන තමයි ගණන් වලට අපි යන්නේ. Right. So these you can write, right? මේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඉඳ තියෙනවනේ. ඒ ඉඳවල ලියාගන්න තමයි මේක ඉඳ දීලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකට. No unit. Yes. Relative atomic mass and relative molecular mass. I don't know if you've done that for chemistry. They also come under these. They are not physical quantities per se. They are physical quantities. They are physical quantities, but we don't discuss them here. That's the thing. Relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass. Those are given. Have you all done? I don't know. Those are given in relation to the mass of 1/12 of a 1/12 the mass of a C12 isotope. Right? So they are also its mass divided by mass. So those units are also have no units, right? But we don't discuss about them in physics. You have done in order, so okay. Right. Then we can go into several SI units with special names. You don't need to study these, all right? නිකම් කියව ගන්න අමුතු අමුතු නම් තියෙනවා. හරි. More some of these even I don't know, right? I don't know in the sense we don't use some of these even in our A-level syllabus. For example, this inductance part. I mean, I know what it is and what it means, but we don't use it in sums. Right? And for example, this luminous flux, ඒක කවදාවත් පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතනින් එහාට කතා කරන්නේත් නැහැ ඒක. Others we use magnetic flux, activity, capacitance, electric charge, electric potential difference, electric conductance. මේ ටික මේ දවස්වල 26 අයට කරන ගමන්. Right? 25 අයට මෙන්න මේවා කරනවා. Activity of radio nuclei. Yes. So you can just see that they have specific names. Right? They have specific names. Then අපි දන්න එකක් ගමු force and weight. Force and weight. It has the specific name of Newton. You know that, right? It has the specific name of Newton. And the specific symbol also they have, HN. And they have other units also, right? You know that. මම ඒක example එකක් විදිහට අරන් පෙන්නන්නම්. Newton's second law. What is Newton's second law? What's the equation? Yes, F equals M. Good that you remember it. F equals M into A. This is force in newtons, right? But this is mass and this is acceleration. Mass is in kilograms. Acceleration is in meters per square second. Meters per second into per second. meters per square second, right? So, like the product of mass into acceleration has the units of force. So that is kilogram meters per square second is the unit of force. Okay. But like for ease, for our easiness, we just write newtons because that is the SI unit for force, right? These are also SI unit, but these are called other units. So like using base units, it's SI base unit, right? Newton is the SI unit for force, like that. So this is equivalent, right? It is not, you can equalize it. It's the equivalent to kilogram meters per square second. You don't need to keep dots හොඳේ මේ dots දාලා තියෙන්නේ අර that is the specific way to write. You don't need to keep dots, okay? Dots තියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Dot එක තියන්නේ මොකටද? Multiply කියලා පෙන්නන්න. And you don't need to keep මටත් මේ අර පුරුද්දට dot එක තිබුණේ උගන්නන්න. But you can just write kg m s minus 2. හැබැයි අර පොඩි space එකක් තියන්න ඕනේ මේ අතරේ. ලොකු spaces තියන්න යන්න එපා ළමයි. ඒක abnormal. right? පොඩි space එකක් තියන්න අර මෙහෙම ලියන්න එපා. kg m s minus 2. This is ugly. And it's wrong also. දැන් මේක ලියාගන්න මම කියන්නේ නැහැ හැම එකම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්න ඕනේ කියන්න ඕන කියන්න ඕනේ කියන්නේ not absolutely necessary but it will help you when you look through the note again you will remember එහෙම කියලා කිව්ව නේද මම so everything all units except from base units are derived units. Okay. So we will start submultiples and multiples next day because මේක පටන් ගත්ත කියන්නේ මේකෙන් ගණන් ගොඩක්. දැන් වෙලා මදිනේ එක් කරන්න. Then we will go into rules to obey in writing essay and it's as well. So I've given all the rules that there are. So some of the notes in tuition classes have half and they don't have the other. I've analyzed the several classes and taken everything that can be there, right? And like it's clear, right? And in a specific order as well. I'll go through those with you next week. So next week we'll be doing what? Not log, trigonometry. Yeah, trigonometry. That will be interesting. That will be very interesting. We don't do it as much as the math students need to do for maths, right? Mathematics also, I know the math students do it. No, they do it very in a very to a deep level, but we don't know. We don't need that much, right? We'll be doing some equations and we need some values, and also we'll be doing some sums from that, and that will be like the kind of more interesting than quadratic equations. Okay. Then we'll be going into multiples and submultiples, the rules to obey when writing units as well. And I think we will be able to go into dimensions also, right? Uh, so if you have any questions, you can ask, and we'll discuss the homework sums also. So do them as well. So I'm not doing physical classes at the moment. I will let you know when if I start in physical classes. And even I would like to do physical classes, but I don't have a specific place like an institution to do physically right now. So I'll let you know about that. Till then, I will be continuing online. Right. Okay. So we will stop for today. I hope it was useful for you and come for all the lessons, right? So the first this whole month will be free, and I'll post the fee at the end of the fourth lesson. So take the maximum use of these sessions, ask questions, answer the questions as well. So I'll see you next day. Have a good day for everyone. Good night.